Hello lads and ladies, and welcome back. And welcome back for another video on the channel. Today we are here with some content that's been wanted for a while. We promised it, yeah. We are delivering it. We are reviewing the three teams that left Sky Bet League One last season in Sheffield Wednesday, who won the playoffs, in Ipswich Town, who won automatic promotion, and Plymouth Argyle, who won the league with a staggering 101 points. Three teams left us, doesn't mean we stop covering them. This season, we're going to do this 4 times a year, where we sit down and review all the teams on how they've done this season. We are a quarter of the way through this Sky Bet League One season, so I thought, why not come on here and talk to you guys about the teams. Different fortunes. We've got Sheffield Wednesday at the bottom. We've got Plymouth Argyle just above the bottom 3. And we've got Ipswich Town high-flying in the top 2 in the second tier of Championship football. If you do enjoy my videos, so all things League One and all things, for these teams that have gone up, please like, please subscribe. We are so close now to 12,000 subscribers. We're going to start off with Sheffield Wednesday. Yes, the team that won last season's playoffs. It's fair to say things have changed at Hillsborough since we last talked about Sheffield Wednesday. We went to the League One playoff final. They beat Barnsley in the last minute. Yorkshire rivals. They were neck and neck for a large portion of the season. Barnsley did the double. Wednesday a little bit better over the course of the season. They knocked up 96 points in that, period. Beat Barnsley. You think, okay, have a few weeks off, reassess. On a random Monday afternoon, Darren Moore gone. Chancery's saying one thing, Darren Moore saying the next. Money, everything's going on at the football club. Darren Moore leaving. It's not the greatest of starts. I did have my doubts over Darren Moore in the Championship, but I thought, well, Darren Moore will keep Sheffield Wednesday in the Championship. I thought that'd be a fact. I kind of thought 18th to 14th, if Sheffield Wednesday can finish somewhere in that region, good season. Xisco Munoz then comes in quite a while after, and Deepon Chansiri basically writes his first statement. Now, we'll quickly learn this man should never be allowed near a computer again, and nobody should ever let him type anything again. It was basically a rant about Darren Moore asking for 4 times as much money and, unrealistic terms. Devon Chansiri says we should be aiming for the playoffs this year. Now, I'm an optimist. I support Fleetwood. I certainly believe that Fleetwood Town can, win a game of football on a Saturday afternoon. But I kind of thought that was maybe a little bit too optimistic. Look, there's ambition, but there's sometimes ambition that isn't smart, specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound. And I kind of thought, well, maybe if you can set that goal for 2 years, 3 years, didn't quite do so. Xisco Munoz came in, promotion with Watford, kind of not great football along the way at Watford. He got them over the line, but by, just got them over the line. And they looked flat, if I'm honest with you. They kind of looked stale and a little bit pedantic at times and didn't know what they were quite doing. So results didn't quite go the way. They got 2 points under Xisco, and that came away at least a really good point in at home to Middlesbrough. At the time, they were the bottom 2 in the division, so maybe not quite. But as soon as they conceded the goal, their heads went. The Sunderland game recently, prime example, the West Brom game. And those fans are unbelievable. But honestly, they are some of the best sets of supporters you will ever see. The 3 that have left us are, remarkable in different ways. Xisco Munoz finally gets sacked. Well done, Chansiri, for, you're finally getting rid. Obviously, roles come in now. It's a really good appointment. He's never been a manager before. Obviously, been a number 2, and it's, it looks a really exciting appointment. So well done for Chansiri for getting that right. The statements recently by saying no additional funding. Fans need to buy more tickets if they want it cheaper. Sheffield Wednesday, right? The supporters, look, you've sold them the dream of the Premier League. They are ambitious and, but they're realistic as well. Give them cheap tickets. They will pack out that ground. They get 25,000, in the ground every week. One of the best sets of supports in the division. So for me, treat them with respect. They're a working hard, club, and they're working hard fan base, and they deserve a lot better than what they're getting. So Sheffield Wednesday, 11 matches, 3 points, 8 defeats. It's the same team pretty much as last season. Dish and Bernard's come in. Realistically, the starting 11 is pretty much the same, isn't it? Bannon, Byers, a Hickway, Gregory, Patterson, Smith. Look, it's a step up. It's a huge step up. But 96 points in League One, hardly lost a game. Unbelievable last season for a large period. You don't drop off that much. I think the manager's to blame. I think the chairman's to blame. I think Roll will come in and do a really, really good job. I really believe that. I think he's one of the one of the better ones he could have got instead of as much as I love Warnock or someone that's kind of old and a bit not past it, but a little bit stale and stay up. This is a progressive move, and I can kind of see him being at Sheffield Wednesday in 2 to 3 years' time. And that's what they got wrong under Darren Moore. Go from Darren Moore to Xisco Munoz was totally different, and it's kind of like it never quite worked. I do think Wednesday will get out of it eventually, but I think Chansiri, I think kind of you're running on deep water, shall we say. We're going to go to Plymouth Argyle now, who, again, they've had a really, really good start. They've won 3, lost 3 at home. Unfortunately, away from home, only the 2 points away. That came, one of those came recently away at Hull. And, 5th most goals in the division. It's really good. 2nd most expected goals in the division behind yours truly in Ipswich Town. But again, expected goals against is 2nd as well. So that shows you it's kind of end-to-end football. It's kind of, on the edge of your seat. They'll score lots of goals, but concede lots of goals. The key business in the summer with the players he had on loan last season, Finn Azaz come back, Whittaker's come back permanently, Mumba's come back permanently. And questions haven't been asked about Ballymumba, but one thing you've got to bear in mind, the way they play, they're going to be testing more defensively, and Ballymumba's going to have to do more defensively. And, when they've got the ball, they're not going to be overloading teams, and teams are going to be better than those teams in League One out of possession. So I kind of think Ballymumba's done well to adapt. Whittaker has been, sublime, and, Hardy, again, 5 goals. Only got 13 last season. I know he only started 26 games last season. That was a big factor. But again, they're having a lot of shots. Them and Ipswich have got the most shots in the division. So that shows you how well they've come up, to the Championship and done really well. Stephen Schumacher's done an exceptional job. They beat Blackburn at home. They won 6-2 a couple of weeks ago. They started well on the opening day of the season with a 3-0 win against, Neil Warnock's, Huddersfield. Neil Warnock, a bit of a legend down in Plymouth as well. Recently not gone too well. A couple of defeats, a draw away at Hull. But I think overall they would have taken this start. They just got to get back to winning ways, as soon as possible. And I kind of think it's going to be a crucial, few weeks for Argyle. And, they're a good outfit, good manager, and good managers keep teams up like Plymouth. And 101 points last season was always going to be hard to replicate in the league. Not been in the Championship for so many years. And they signed some good players. Kundal, has come in, and very, very good team. But Ipswich Town take good teams to the next level. They are unbelievable at football. Imagine my surprise. A team that, last season won 13 games, in the running, drew a couple of games. The only game they drew was Cheltenham and Fleetwood, who are currently, in the bottom 4 in Sky Bet League One. So it's kind of funny how things can change. But from the 18th of February to go and win 13 games out your last, 15 games, and it was just an unbelievable run. They never looked like losing. They won 4-0 a couple of times at home as well. They won 6-0 against Charlton and Exeter to seal promotion. They were scoring goals, and this side was just unbelievable. And they kept 7 consecutive clean sheets in that running last season. They scored 41 goals, only conceded 4, and 2 of them was on the last day of the season. Let's be honest, the players had been out all week celebrating, and deservedly so. Kieran McKenna is a progressive manager who gets sides progressively better. And this season, going away to Sunderland and winning, going away at QPR and winning, a real battle of a place to go and win. And it was just a statement, early on in the season, only losing at home to Leeds 4-3, but again, scoring lots of goals. Scored 25 goals this season, the most in the division, which is, unbelievable. Connor Chaplin has got, another 5 goals this season, which is, when you look at Connor Chaplin's, statistics in the last few years, it is unbelievably good. It's 31 goals, 7 assists in his last, 40-odd games, 40 to 50-odd games. It is unbelievable. And the expected goals is right up there. And they're playing the same way. And they've got the same team. Literally, Brandon Williams has come in. He's obviously played a lot of times in the Premier League. He got relegated with Norwich City, but Norwich getting relegated isn't really a surprise anymore in the Premier League. And this is a forward move for him. I really do believe that. Leif Davis has gone on another level. 14 assists last season, 5 in 10 this season. And, your Wes Burns, your Broadhead, your Hurst. Hurst is coming good now. 2 goals, 2 assists in his last 2 games. And a lot got said when he came to the football club. But Broadhead is literally like another new signing again, because he came in January and was phenomenal. And I like using that word, but Ipswich Town, Halaki has come in and, in goal, and, Walton's dropped to the bench. And that just shows you the standard that they've got at that football club. And Kieran McKenna has been toiled with so many jobs since he joined Ipswich. Why? This is a side that is 8 points clear of third, 11 points clear of, 7th in the division. They're scoring goals after goal, and they're playing unbelievable football. The fans love him. They're packing out Portman Road. They'd sell out Mars or somewhere like that on a Tuesday night. Honestly, they're massive, and, they're supporting the team. And when things go well at Ipswich, they go well. And it's so good to see, because, this is a side 12 months ago that were in a mess, in League One, that we're struggling to get into the top 2 and struggling to find consistency. Now they found it. They only needed to make a couple of tweaks, in the January window. But that January window was huge. Bringing Hurst, bringing Broadhead, Luengo as well was a massive signing for them, late on in that January window. Morsey and Luengo, I've heard that they're similar players. Well, I don't think they are. The only similarity is they are both brilliant holding midfield players. And, Morsey can, open up a back door. Luengo can kind of stick in and, put his foot out and be nasty. And, Wednesday missed that. Wednesday missed that type of player. And that is a difference. Ipswich went to Wednesday and won 1-0. That is the difference between Ipswich and Wednesday. Ipswich can go somewhere and win any game of football, play any team off the park, go to Southampton and win. And this is a side 5 years ago, under McCarthy, that were going backwards and going one way. Now they're only going one way. And Mick McCarthy said, be careful what you wish for. Well, that went well, didn't it, Mick? And McKenna, I honestly believe, outside, all the top leagues, is the best manager you could get at this level. He is just superb. And, you look at it, they're only going to need, I think, about 14 wins to get into the playoffs, which is unbelievable at this stage. So I kind of think take one game at a time. They're 28 points at the moment, 56% towards the 50-point mark, then build. So again, Wednesday need to get out of trouble. New managers come in. Chansiri's still writing statements. The fans are still on board. A little bit more optimistic than they maybe were 2 weeks ago under Xisco Munoz. But again, hopefully Sheffield Wednesday can pick up. Plymouth Argyle doing all right for themselves in Sky Bet Championship. Again, I don't think they'll come down. I don't think Plymouth will be in the bottom 3 come the end of the season. They've got heart, they've got endeavour, and they fight to the very end. And you need that, when you're a team that have just come up, and I kind of see them better than 3 teams in that championship. Your QPR, they're better than them. They're better than Rotherham, in my opinion, and they're better than Sheffield Wednesday at this moment in time. But Ipswich Town, wow, what a journey. Kieran McKenna is literally putting on a show. And Ipswich Town, they beat Wolves as well in the cup. They're absolutely flying. Thank you so much for coming back and watching this video. I hope you have enjoyed it. Please like, please subscribe. It's good to go over some old faces as well. And hopefully they can stick around. There will be a part 2 out very soon. Thank you very much for watching. And until next time, I will see you later. Up the Sky Bet League One.